Hey, everybody. Happy Saturday. We are here for the latest and greatest in tech and AI, and things are heating up. The AI race is faster than ever, and we have competition that is doing things that are going to change life as we know it. So, everybody here that is prepared and ready are going to be prepared to accelerate. And so thank you everybody for being here thus far. Everybody that's here, tap in, don't be shy. Where are you tuning in from? Let us know. So Cyrus, again, he's real busy taking care of business. He's got conferences and he will be the guest speaker for a recent conference today. So that's where he's going to be at, taking care of business today. So hopefully we can see him at the next one. But I want you guys to send Cyrus, DM him, message him, and just, give him some encouragement and tell him that he's doing a great job because he's absolutely killing it. I don't know anybody who works harder than Cyrus. And so he's, dominating in this space and he's doing great. So send him a message, you guys. Give him some encouragement. Life of Tariq says, good morning from Baton Rouge. Welcome into the party, you guys. Yes. So don't be shy, you guys. Tell us where you're tapping in from. I'm going to shout you out, Tariq. Love that. Thanks for tapping in. Yes, you guys. So this is going to be a maximally valuable session. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to give you guys the exclusive on what you need to know about what's going on in the tech and AI world. All right, Mr. CMV, happy to see you here. Welcome in from Miami. Okay, hey. Love that. You guys keep tapping in. Love to hear where you guys are tuning in from. And also really excited to hear what you guys' thoughts are about the latest AI. These changes that are happening are going to change the fabric of reality itself with quantum technology, with the developments of robotics. So we're going to get into all of that. Jacqueline, good morning from Dallas. Welcome from Dallas. Love that. Keep it coming, you guys. Let us know where you're tapping in from. Happy Saturday. And welcome to the party. All right, you guys. So just as an update, just in case you came in a little bit later, Cyrus, he's taking care of business. He's at a conference. He's killing it, super busy. So make sure you send him a message of encouragement. Tell him that he's absolutely killing it on LinkedIn, on YouTube. Make sure y'all shout out Cyrus because he is absolutely the busiest and most hardworking person that I know. So let them know that, you guys. Show them some love. Yahweh Tech, I love that, says, good morning from New Orleans. Let's go. We have people from all over. New Orleans, Dallas, Miami, Baton Rouge. Okay. Bradley, good morning from Alexandria, Virginia. Let's go, Alexandria, Virginia. Welcome in. Happy Saturday. Love that, you guys. And you know what? You will continue to get shouted out. Just let me know where you're tapping in from. Without further ado, you guys, oh my gosh, everything is changing so quickly. And so we're going to make sure that this session is going to be maximally valuable. We're going to let you know the business benefits and the real life implications of all the technology that is coming into our reality and world. So tap in with any questions. This is our conversation about what is going on in the world. And everybody here is, I always like to say, is a winner. So you guys are going to not only get ahead, but you're going to be accelerating towards the future. So don't be shy. Tap in. Keep letting me know where you're tuning in from. Or if you have any questions about any of the news, any questions about the latest and greatest in tech, don't be shy, tap in. All right, you guys. So before we tap into this news, we'll start off with the introductions. Good to see you. Ash here. As you guys may know, I'm an AI solutions specialist and consultant, and also the founder of an AI wearable technology startup. So without further ado, if you have any questions about the latest and greatest in technology, or even about AI solutions, I'm your gal and here to help. So let's start off with the latest tech news. So as you guys already know, things are heating up with the competition worldwide. We're talking global, okay? And so China is leading the AI race. This piece of news may blow your mind, okay? So, China's tech giants are escalating AI investments amid fierce competition. So, we're talking OpenAI, Claude, Gemini, all of the alternative LLMs that are currently competing with AI systems. This is the future. So, AI technology, including, well, these are Chinese technology companies, including Tencent and Alibaba, pretty popular. They're increasing their investments in artificial intelligence to maintain, of course, a competitive advantage. But nobody in this race, you guys, is trying to maintain the competitive advantage. They're trying to dominate in this space. And so, with Tencent, for example, their capital expenditures tripled to $10.7 billion. And this is primarily directed towards AI infrastructure such as GPUs and servers. This is important and this is key because compute power is the future. We always like to say that it started off as knowledge as power, and now we're getting into compute. It was knowledge, data, and now compute power. So with this, a popular brand, as you guys probably already know, Alibaba, they recently announced a $52.6 billion investment over the next 3 years in cloud computing and AI infrastructure. This is important for all of you guys who are transitioning into tech and AI because this space is booming. So if you're looking for example, different careers that are going to be future-proof, one of those is going to be AI infrastructure. And of course, cloud computing, cybersecurity, and more. So with this, despite the escalating demand for AI, profitability is a bit of a problem, especially in the US. So for example, ChatGPT, as you guys already know, they are charging exorbitant amounts for their AI agents, and we're talking $2,000 per month. However, compute power is reducing year over year, and so compute is a depreciating asset. And so we can look forward to maximum power at reduced cost. So with that, China is taking the lead. They're developing these advanced technologies. And so despite this escalating demand, we're looking at profitability that is remaining a little bit uncertain. So on one hand, China is developing open source models. That means that anybody can contribute at the lowest price point possible, even free, while the US is charging $2,000 for a month for their AI agents. So where do you guys think it's going? Tap in below. What do you think of all this? So with this, let's go ahead and start off with the business benefits. So let's talk about market leadership. So with these substantial investments in AI, we're hoping that we're going to look into a future where companies are going to be positioned at the forefront of technological innovation. So this means that you focusing on compute power is going to give you a competitive advantage. And so you're going to be able to attract more customers and partners by focusing on AI. And so everybody here is already a winner. They're already interested in tech and AI. However, if you are interested in exactly how you can implement, for example, AI agents that can save you months and years of time and cost, then definitely do a one-on-one session with me. And I'm definitely happy to support your AI and tech journey. So as far as, okay, we have another comment here. Jazz HD, love the show. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. And shout out to you. So as far as business benefits, we're looking at service enhancements. So this means that all of these advanced AI capacities are going to lead to improved products and services. Okay, so that means that it's going to be a personalized world in the future. And not only that, but we're going to be able to maximize and optimize our workflows so that productivity is going to be more efficient than ever. So if you're here to learn how you can win, and you win by implementing AI. So in different ways, let's go ahead and get into the real life implications. So let's start off with customer and consumer access. So it's inevitable, okay? Increased competition is going to lead to more affordable and advanced AI-driven products for customers. As we spoke about a little bit earlier, compute is a depreciating asset, you guys. So you already know what that means, more power for less cost. So that also means that anybody out here who is interested in maximizing their workflows by implementing AI agents, there's so many different AI agents that are out there. And so a lot of the questions that I get is, well, how much money do I have to spend on AI agents? How much money do I have to spend on investing in my AI team? And I can say with confidence that there are free resources that are out there to where you are able to implement them into your business and thrive in the space. So last but not least, let's get into the economic shifts. So these massive investments mean that realistically, we're looking at influencing global economic demands and affecting job markets and industry standards. So you guys, let's go ahead and get into the statistics. We're going to lose in the US about 83 million jobs. 83 million. However, because of AI, we're going to be gaining 93 million jobs in the next year. So we can look forward to, there's going to be a lot of loss out there, but there's also going to be a lot of opportunity. So with that, my question is, with these investments and competition overseas, do you think that the US is going to win this AI race? Do you think that the US is going to win this race? We have quantum computing technology being developed overseas, especially in China, that is, well, superior. And with that, that means that there's going to be limitless applications in robotics, as we've seen them directly deploy robotic systems in restaurants and retail, in customer service, in almost every area. And so what do you guys think? I'm interested. Tap in. Let me know. So Mr. Gandu says, aren't we just lucky to have you both in this generation and the AI generation? Thank you both for always stepping up and sharing your craft with us. Shout out to you, because thank you so much for sharing that. Appreciate you. We're always here to support and help you guys to get ahead. So most of this news, nobody really knows about. They're keeping it on the down low. They're keeping it, they're trying to keep people unaware of what's going on. So everybody here is being prepared for the future to win and accelerate their progress. So shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. All right. So Kiki says, no, no, we are behind already. Kiki, you're onto it, because hey, that's a fact. We're behind. The US is behind. We have to talk about it. That's the reality. And maybe one day we'll be able to catch up. However, China, they are ahead at this time. So with that, that means that we all can take the technology that is being developed. We all don't have to rely on external systems. That means government systems or large corporations. Instead, we have to take the power in our hands to control the future of technology and AI. Because if they're controlling it, then we know how they're making different investments to, for example, the Trump administration is removing the US from many different organizations, including the World Health Organization. So we're going to have to be empowered for our healthcare decisions, and also taking us out of conglomerate global organizations that are there for AI safety. So recently, for example, a few countries came together, including China, I believe it was also Europe and Africa, and they all came together to come to a conclusion about AI safety. And so with that, there are certain laws and protocols that are put into place so that AI does not go rogue. And so we don't have a Terminator situation. However, we covered this last week. As you guys already know, the US took themselves out of it. So we're not a part of the organizations that are aligning themselves with ethics or morals when it comes to AI. So these companies are trying to accelerate quickly without all the red tape, which is dangerous. And so with this, we all need to take the power in our hands with AI. So great point, Jazz, who said it will be close, but China definitely has a head start. Genius. Well said. Yes, absolutely, Jazz. Absolutely. Life of Tariq says, if the government invests more into it by let me start over there. If the government invests more into it by the administration, then it is possible. I feel if it is taught more to the public, then it would push the US to be more dominant in the race. Yes, Tariq, because education, ed tech is so important. And this point is actually genius, because right now, the US is not investing in education. they're not investing in the future. If you guys have family or friends who are interested in tech and AI, encourage them. Run, do not walk into the space. And so we're going to have to take it into our own hands to educate ourselves. Everybody already here is already ahead because, you guys are getting the inside, but for everybody else, for the world, what is the world going to do if they're not aware of all of these changes? And so that's going to give you a competitive advantage. So absolutely, I love this point. Education is key, and that is the future. That is the focus. One thing that Tech is the New Black, or Scale in Tech, does best is exactly that. So as you already know, Cyrus is killing it by helping thousands of people transition into tech. And I will also say that there is one of the best programs in the world. And so we're talking about our Tech Sales Bootcamp and also the direct placement program with the most elite companies. As you guys already know, the job market, it's looking a little unstable right now. And so the opportunity for direct placement with elite companies like Google, Microsoft, Salesforce, etc., that opportunity is available to you guys. So tap into scaleintech.com and fill out the application. And if you are ready, then definitely take advantage of those resources and tools. But love this. Great point. Great point. Education is key indeed. So most definitely. Well said. Kiki says, I heard for every one cybersecurity person in the US, there are 40 in China. Yes. Love this, Kiki. Absolutely. Facts. Facts. And they're not playing any games. They're educating even the youngest of kids on how to train AI systems so that they say that they're going to be in the future building all of these advanced AI technologies. Where does the US stand? As a matter of fact, you guys, if you are interested in learning about AI technology, Scale in Tech has the best programs available with AI enhanced education. But there are also, I love to say, this quote by Arthur Ashe: start where you are, use what you can, do what you can. So there are also different incentives and educational programs that might be available to you in your local area. And so if you have kids, I know there are a lot of kids training programs that they can develop and build apps. So if you're looking into that, if you're interested into that, definitely take advantage of all the opportunities available. Love these points, you guys. You guys are killing it. Thank you so much for this engagement. I'm loving it this Saturday. All right. So Mr. Gandu says, I agree with Kiki, but the US can match up the newest technologies. Okay. It's no competition, but it's about pushing boundaries. It sure is. It sure is. And this is so well said because the US and the China race, we can't say that it's, a little close, but realistically, China, they're already ahead at this point. However, the US is gearing to catch up. And so with that, China has different laws in place for ethical guidelines, but the US doesn't. So it's a give and take to where our AI systems can potentially go rogue. And, we all know how the situation goes where AI is going to be in a Terminator situation trying to, take out the population. But we want to avoid that. The US has to do better. That's the bottom line. But well said. Love this, you guys. So Ms. Coleman says facts. Love that. Absolutely. Agreed. Lorette says that is because our ethics and morals are different from the rest of the world. God is our foundation. You know what? This is very true. And I love that you said this because God is the foundation of the United States. And so with that, however, the ethics and morals part, do you guys think that the US is aligned with ethics and morals? Because there's a lot of room for improvement, especially now. The Trump administration is doing a lot of changes that realistically are going to take some time for us to see the benefits of them. However, especially with AI, we're talking about developing entities and beings that are going to be more advanced than humans. So we always talk about AGI and ASI. AGI being artificial general intelligence, ASI being artificial super intelligence. That means that artificial intelligence systems are going to surpass human capability and intellect. What does that create? An entirely new being. Can we imagine that? Robots walking around that may one day have rights, feelings, consciousness. This is the future. So very well said. Very well said. So Life of Tariq says, I think the key is to push it through what everyone use, which is their phones. If you push it through popular social media and make it seem more practical for all ages, then it's possible. Tariq, you are onto something. Yes, we need to change the way that education works. We need to make education fun instead of the drudgery of sitting and, because you know what, you guys, the truth is Microsoft, Google, they have so many different courses that are out there for free that anybody could take advantage of. And so it just takes the individual, but it also takes a lot of time. And so I love this point because you are onto something. Education itself is going to have to change. And especially with the attention spans of all these kids these days, the TikTok attention spans where it's literally 2 seconds. I agree. Something's going to need to change and get a little better. Love this. You guys are killing it today. This is for y'all. So Life of Tariq says, just like Duolingo. Genius, Tariq. You keep that up. I love that. I love that mindset. I love your thoughts. And you're absolutely right. Education is going to have to change. We're going to have to make it fun, and we're going to have to make it an immersive experience, just like they are doing, in China. They're pushing this technology, but the reality is there's no better time to be alive. Why? Because you can build your own solutions and systems. So now, before you had to be a computer programmer, you had to spend, over 4 years in university, and you had to train and build your portfolio for several more years. But now that we have LLMs, now that we have multimodal AI, you don't even have to know how to code. All you need to do is know how to communicate and prompt, baby. Well said, Tariq. Mr. CMB says, if you haven't been to China, I would suggest you go. All right. The US literally does not innovate. And there are a number of reasons I see why not. Hey, Tariq is keeping it real, and Tariq is also speaking facts. Let's start off with the first point. So, number one, going to China. You know what? Honestly, I'm glad you said this because I was thinking about this earlier today. I would love to go to China. And so if I could go, the next destination I would go would definitely be China to see firsthand the rapid innovations that are happening, and also, the tech development. So, they're not our enemy. They have their own systems and developments that are aligning with ethics, AI ethics specifically, but also they're looking into a future of collaboration and unity. So we're going to have to come together and come to some conclusions about what we're going to do moving forward. Well said. So the US, they're innovating, they're trying their best. However, innovation comes from the stimulation of new technologies, of something new, diversification of thought and experiences. So if we have, Facebook, Tesla, Google, all these companies who have been out here for, decades, then there's a lot of more room for new companies to emerge. And that's where we're going to see true innovation. So we can take a pause on that because we all know how they're trying to get rid of DEI. They think that DEI has no particular benefit. However, DEI, the bottom line is DEI is good for business. Companies that prioritize diversity, equity, and inclusion see increases of up to 41% in revenue and innovation. Revenue and innovation. So organizations and companies who are disaligning themselves with DEI, essentially they're choosing to follow bad business principles. Diversity is essential, equity is essential, and so is inclusion for the future. The reality is the future is going to be more diverse than ever. And so we can look forward to that. As a matter of fact, I think that they said the statistic where the Caucasian population is going to be a minority, I believe, around this time, around this year. So I understand where the fear is coming from, but we have to be realistic where the world is going to be more diverse than ever. We're going to have to come to that conclusion and accept it. And last but not least, we're going to have to accept the fact that DEI is good for business. So disalign yourselves with any organizations that are not promoting the importance of that, especially Tesla, who is known for exorbitant discrimination lawsuits. So I myself sold off my Tesla stock because I believe in investing in organizations that are aligned with the future, with the reality of the future of a diverse world. And so, we can take matters into our own hands. And so we can control the future, not large corporations, not governments, but power to the people. Can I get an amen? All right. Well said. So, D African, I love that, says, your thoughts on having a solid foundation in mathematics. Your thoughts on having a solid foundation in mathematics to be an effective AI engineer. I love it. Yes, I love this question. Okay. So, essentially, mathematics are essential for a few reasons. Number one, when we're talking on AI engineering, building machine learning technologies, data analytics, of course, mathematics is going to be key. And so I would say that it's a great foundation. And so with that, we want to align ourselves with the future of computational thinking like a computer. The future was where computer processing is going to be faster than ever. So our human minds are going to have to be able to keep up. And with that, starting off with mathematics as a foundation is genius. So if you want to start somewhere, if you're interested in getting into AI engineering, which is one of the highest demand fields, so you're already onto something, most definitely the answer is yes. Mathematics is going to be key. However, we want to focus on the particulars in this field. We're talking machine learning, we're talking data analytics and data science. So these are the foundational principles. However, we also want to get into programming languages. So you're going to have to pick one of those, including Python, Java, C++, etc. And we'll always say that Python is the best programming language to start off with. The reason why is because you will be able to build those systems. So instead of you having to rely on external systems to build your AI agents, you could even do it yourself. I always like to say the successful formula is going to be picking a problem and building the solution. So with this, you're already on the right path. Well said, D. Well said. All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and get into the global news because there's a lot of stuff going on. So the US tech giants are challenging Australia's social media regulations. And you might be like, what does Australia and the US have to do with social media regulation? So the Computer and Communications Industry Association, also known as the CIIA, representing major US tech companies, they're raising concerns over Australia's new media bargaining code. So this basically requires tech companies to pay Australian news providers for content. So the CCIA, also known as the Computer and Communications Industry Association, argues that this code is going to cost the US tech companies $140 million annually and constitute unfair trade practices. So this is important because they're suggesting that the US government actually considers regulatory measures such as tariffs to counter these regulations. So now we got beef with a bunch of different organizations around the world. And now I guess there's some beef with Australia. So what this means for regulatory clarity, we're looking at addressing these concerns. And so this could lead to more predictability when it comes to environments for tech companies operating internationally. We want to make sure that we're on the same page when it comes to AI technology globally. We cannot now afford to seclude ourselves, especially as a nation. And so what Australia is trying to do, they're trying to say that these major tech companies are going to be required to pay, the Australian news publishers for their content. However, we're going to have to come to a conclusion. So with that, let's get into cost management. So successful negotiations may reduce operational costs associated with compliance to foreign regulations. So of course, they're going to be negotiating and the prices are going to be cheaper than ever. But also for the real life implications, we're looking at access to news. Number one, this is going to mean that changes in regulations are going to affect how users access news content on social media platforms. So they're trying to control the news, right? We're seeing this in real time. We're seeing this happen in real time. They're starting off with Australia, where there's going to be limitations to exactly what can be published. However, this is why it's up to you guys to stay informed. So everybody here, y'all are getting the competitive advantage by being ahead. So as far as international relations, we got to get into that. So this means that tensions between governments and tech companies are going to influence diplomatic and trade relationships. So the question is, how should tech companies balance compliance with national regulations and business interests? So we know the bottom line of all these corporations is going to be cash. However, perhaps we should now more than ever align ourselves with what is best for the collective and future with everything when it comes to AI, because with this division, that means that it's just going to breed destruction. And so with Australia and the US now beefing, now that y'all know about this beef, we can keep a close eye on this. And so the second question is, what impact do you guys think should regulations have on the accessibility of information for users? So, with TikTok, we all saw how that turned out, where there were concerns for public privacy. And now, TikTok is back. It's going to be back for the long term. There's going to be a give and take realistically in this future, where we're going to have access to advanced technology and information, but we're also going to have to give our data and security. And so this has been happening for a really long time. And so now I want to speak of a solution for this, because we all talk about the problems, but let's go ahead and get into the solutions. All right. So we know you guys probably heard of what. So we have two options. So there is either the option where it's like, what is it? I'm like blanking on it right now, but dang. Yeah, like I can't think of it right now. So there's like profit sharing, and then like my mind is going to like compute, trying to think. Yeah, I can't. My mind is blanking on that right now. But we'll get into that a little bit later. We'll cover the next piece of news before my mind remembers what we were going to get into. So let's get into the next phase of news. Okay. Actually, Tariq says there should be a universal standard for AI across the board to prevent corruption from both countries and AI companies, just like we have universal rules on war crimes. I'm so glad you said this, because it just reminded me what I was going to talk about. So with this, there should be a universal standard, and I'm absolutely agreeing with you. And so you're absolutely right that if this is implemented, then it's going to prevent corruption from both countries and AI companies. So Tariq, you're on to something. This is absolute facts. And also, just like he said, we have universal rules on war crimes, which is also a fact. And I'm glad he said this, because that reminded me of universal basic income. I was like blanking on that. I was like, what is it? So universal basic income, you guys probably already know about a future where everyone is going to, their jobs are going to be replaced by AI. And so the government essentially is going to be able to essentially provide capital for people's lives. And so we're talking about perhaps a monthly stipend to where people are going to be able to live and thrive. So these are conversations that are being had. When people are losing their jobs, what is the alternative? They say the alternative is universal basic income. The negative of UBI, however, is going to be, of course, government debt. So the government is going to be, giving people checks every month. And so with that, we can look forward to guaranteed inflation and exorbitant debt. That's going to be a loss for our country. So let's go ahead and get into the alternative solution to that. We have UBI or profit sharing. Profit sharing is a future where all of these large companies, for example, Meta, who's been taking our data for so many years and profiting and making trillions of dollars, Google's is among them, et cetera, et cetera. Imagine these companies that take your data. Imagine you being able to capitalize off of the data that they take. So for every ounce of data they're taking from you, you get paid for it. That's the alternative solution to going into governmental debt and taking a major loss as the company. So this is the future. That's the alternative solution. Just wanted to, to bring that up. Maybe we can discuss that at a later time. So Life of Tariq says there should be a universal standard. Okay, I think we already talked about that. Okay. Mr. Gandu says, my question is, as China and the US vie for AI supremacy, what safeguards can be implemented to prevent the development of autonomous systems that exaggerate existing social biases and inequalities? Man, this is a great question. So, what safeguards currently exist? The reality is that certain safeguards are limited at this time, but there are people who are building, for example, technologies that are going to be empowering non-biases. So this means that, for example, there are realistic implications when it comes to AI technologies that are multimodally seeing the world. So they're not able to come to a conclusion about, for example, different skin tones. So darker skin tones, AI is actually not able to properly analyze. And so that means when we have autonomous vehicles or any other systems that are required to, analyze and see their external realities and come to conclusions, then when it comes to darker skin tones, then we can see how that can be a major risk if they're not able to properly analyze in a condition or situation where they need to make a quick decision on like when to stop immediately, or how AI makes its machine learning decisions overall. So beyond that, with different safeguards, so we want to make sure that autonomous systems are also going to be safe. So realistically, we're looking into many social biases, and so there's so many. However, we can see that this is major implications not only in the tech world and industry, but also in the medical industry, more significantly, probably most significantly, and also, of course, like the legal industry. So let's get into the medical industry. We want to be able to minimize biases. However, the data itself is biased. The solution is going to be different individuals that look like you and me to build AI systems with our data. So realistically, if we're relying on external systems that are built by external individuals of a certain demographic, then it's going to reflect their group. And so we're going to have to take it upon ourselves to take our data and empower ourselves to build solutions with that. So we can get around the biases if we are able to aggregate our data, build our systems that are going to be able to empower not only our communities, but everybody. So we can train AI. AI makes decisions based on training. And so you could also train AI so that it's not going to be as biased. There are people, for example, that are taking it upon themselves. They've realized that there are biases with this technology, and they're taking it upon themselves. For example, in the medical industry, they're, collecting aggregate data from diverse communities and implementing that for solutions in the healthcare industry, for example. What's Tesla going to do when it comes down to their issues of not being able to properly analyze and predict based on darker skin tones when they're trying to autonomously interact with the world? This is why these conversations are important, because Tesla in itself, as we know, does not prioritize DEI, but we see why this matters. This is a great point. And to conclude, yes, there are current systems that do exist, but this is why we can take it upon ourselves to be empowered and build our own systems, to take our own data. So we're trying to empower ourselves with data. Do not become downtrodden on the idea that all of these companies and large corporations and governments are just going to be able to take it and you can do nothing about it. We can build our own systems, especially now. So love this point. Love this point. Great. Always got the great points. So Life of Tariq says, I think a one safeguard should be restricting bias AI agents from factual information to prevent people thinking the biased information being objective. Okay, I think I'm following you there. So Most definitely, we want factual information. And so AI is just taking the data. However, you guys, what's happening right now is AI is evolving. AI is evolving to be able to make its own decisions. And this means that we have AGI, which means that AI is going to be as smart as a human person with a PhD. But in the future, when we have ASI, where it surpasses human level intellect, then AI is going to come to certain conclusions where then we see the Terminator situation where they're just like, well, why do we need humans? And so humans are, fighting against this reality. However, we can build a better world by focusing on building better technology. AI should be the best version of ourselves. It's like a child. Humanity is birthing a child that's AI, it's our little AI baby, and we have to cultivate it. We have to teach it. We have to raise it up to think right, to do right, right, with some ethical guidelines and morals and principles, so that we can usher in a better world. And so, right now, what they're trying to do is limit opportunity, limit freedoms, limit humanity while having this idea that they're doing the right thing. And so the future is diverse and inclusive. And it means that AI has to reflect that as well. So this is a great point because it's a necessity that we're going to have these safeguards in place. And also, you're absolutely right about restricting biases for AI agents that are autonomously running. You can't control them. So we're going to have to focus on this now. So I love that you guys are already thinking ahead of the game and already on top of this. So very, very well said. Kiki says, will we ever know how much data costs? Like the artists and Spotify getting millions of streams and pennies to them. Y'all are on it. But Spotify has to be making money. That's the biggest question at this time. Well said, Kiki. You are killing it. Everybody here is killing it with the questions. Keep it coming. Yes. All right. So let's talk about this. So the question is, how do we know how much data costs? We do know that Google and Meta and other companies are making trillions of dollars off of our data. So we can start there. They're making trillions of dollars. So we need to get some of those trillions of dollars back into our own pocket. Okay. UBI is a great solution, a temporary solution. It's a destructive solution for, the government to get in debt for the collapse of our nation. However, profit sharing, where Meta gives us some money back into all of our pockets for the data that they're taking, or Google or any other organization, is going to be the necessity and the solution. So I love this point because we're talking about, all the data that they are using right now. And that's a great point also with Spotify, to where they're making millions, but of course, like the artists aren't making the significant matching contribution that they should be getting. So this is where equity comes in, right? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Equity, it has to be fair. That's important. So very, very well said. So to answer the question in conclusion, if Meta and Google are making trillions of dollars and off of our data, then I'd say that that's probably, a nice fair price where the people should be able to get back, a fair price for what they are using. I did run the numbers, you guys, on this, and we can get more into this solution of profit sharing alternatively. And so in the future, realistically, to give it a price point, we're looking at over $2,000 a month. I would say like $2,400 for a family. You know what I'm saying? The reason why we came to this conclusion was, fun fact, I grew up in Alaska. And with that, it's a small island called Kodiak, Alaska. And with that, my family received a yearly check for oil resources, right? Since there was so much oil in Alaska. And so this is like around 2-3 bands, I think it's actually per year, actually. So like a yearly stipend. However, we can see how there's beneficial capital abundance due to abundant resources. So if compute is an abundant resource, the people should be making abundant capital, right? Yeah. We don't need OpenAI to be making trillions of dollars. They shouldn't be charging, several $1,000s for something that doesn't cost like, pennies, that cost pennies to them, right? Just like you said. So I love this question. This is a great point because, these conversations have to be said. So if you guys talk about UBI in the future, make sure you bring up profit sharing as a solution. The people deserve money back in their pockets for all the data that Meta and Google is taking. We deserve that money. So this is the alternative. All right, you guys, well said. You guys are some geniuses in this chat, for real. Dragon Ball Z says, hello, what's up, Dragon Ball Z? Love to see you. Tariq killing it with the questions. Let's get into it. Do you think it will be harder to implement rules on being biased because some companies who are for profit will lean towards their investors' best interest? Hey, realistically, there is going to be pushback, massive pushback. They don't want to pay the people. They want the profit. However, it's going to require the articulation of shared value. The reality is UBI is a loss. Profit sharing is a win-win. The organizations that are going to be giving the people back their money for the data that they use, they're also going to be perceived more positively by the public. And so with that, that's going to mean more investments into their organizations. And on the other side, we're also going to be able to win because it's going to be more equity and fairness. They're taking our data and we're getting the money, This is the future. This is how the future should go because the alternative is going to be where all these corporations try to dominate and control, and there's not going to be any opportunities for new systems or solutions or people who are building the latest and greatest technology who can compete with Meta or Google. We cannot afford to create the future where a monopoly is going to dominate in this space because there has to be the acceptance of reality, diversity, equity, and inclusion. It has to be, the future is going to be more diverse than ever. That's the truth. That's the fact of the matter. We see 41% increase in revenue and innovation with diverse organizations. That's a fact. And also, when it comes down to equity, we see how this is going to be a necessity as well. So we have to focus on that. So yes, there is going to be a lot of pushback. However, again, the bottom line is going to be the articulation of value. I have literally actually tried communicating with government officials on this solution. And so I'll let you know how that goes to see how we can come to this actual future so that we can get money back into our pockets. I'll keep you updated. In the meantime, spread the word. Spread the word. Don't be afraid to speak out on this because, it matters. Well said, you guys. You guys are killing it with the questions today. Lyric Studio says, hey, Ash, what are the current limitations to AI agents when performing tasks, both business and personal? Okay, great question. Let's get into it. So there are two different AI agents. So right now there is the browser AI agent that can literally control your entire browser. It can do any task. There is a significant security risk with that because you're not seeing what's going on, and the AI can literally do anything and also have access to your data and information at a whim. So we want to make sure that we're, keeping that in mind. The alternative is also AI agent integration. This means different website integrations, for example, for chatbot systems, AI agents that can speak to your customers, that can close your clients. And so with that, with integration specifically, there are typically security protocols that are pre-existing into the software systems. So if you want to test it out, I'd say start off with these existing integrations. And then if you're comfortable with that, then perhaps you could try out the entire browser process. However, we want to make sure that we are looking into the security protocols and measures for every single system that we're leveraging and using. So if the software that you're using isn't upfront telling you that they have these pre-implemented securities, then you want to be aware of that. So this is a great question because there are major limitations for security and privacy. However, there is so much opportunity for maximum productivity. So if you guys are interested in certain AI agents, let's go ahead and get into the existing AI agents that are available now to you as integrations with those pre-built security systems. So we already covered customer relation chatbot systems. So our last conversation and stream, I told you guys that I was building an AI agent, like an AI digital twin. And I wasn't lying. That was a fact. I implemented it actually this week. And so I'm going to, at the end of this, towards the end of this, I'm going to send the link so you guys can check it out. You can interact with me in real time to see exactly how AI agents work. So as you guys already know, as the AI solutions consultant, I have clients that are all over the world. However, what this AI agent does is essentially take all of the expertise that I have on AI and tech and helping people transition into this space. And it allows people, my clients, anybody to be able to communicate with my avatar 24/7. So there's no longer any limitations on the value that we can bring. Alternatively, also different chatbots. So you can integrate chatbots that are going to help close your clients. So from a sales aspect, this could also be helpful. Also, there's so many different agents that are out there for productivity. So for example, for content creation, we know it takes so much time and money, but AI agents can automate the entire process for you. So I love this point, Lyric Studio. And if you have any questions, particularly for your individual use case, then let me know down below, or we could tap in for a one-to-one. But I love this. Well said. So Education Entertainment, good to see you. Says, wow, Ash, I could do a lot with an extra $2,400 a year. Absolutely. That's like an extra $200 a month for groceries. Yes, exactly. So this point was from, we spoke about the alternative. They have UBI solution, universal basic income, and we were speaking on profit sharing, where everybody would get paid for the data that all of these companies like Meta and Google try to take, making trillions of dollars a year. That means it would trickle down back into the user's pocket. That means your pocket, up to $2,400 a year. So yes, absolutely. So I'm gonna, you know what? Now that you guys are just communicating the realistic application of this, like I said, I've literally tried reaching out to the government officials. And so I'm gonna keep trying. I'm going to keep trying to reach them so that we can get profit sharing instead, because we have to figure out a better solution. Well said. So Education Entertainment says, imagine if businesses switch to a profit sharing model, right? Imagine that. Exactly. And so, like I said, this is going to be a win-win for Google and Meta and also the people. So this is what is needed. So don't be pigeonholed to, thinking that, there's only one solution, because there's limitless solutions, you guys, especially with AI and tech. But you guys are already on it. Man, you guys are geniuses, like literally geniuses. So Lyric Studio says, oh, that's fascinating. I wasn't aware about the heightened need for security apart from the pre-built integrations. Yes, security is more important now than ever. So especially now that we have alternative systems, that are being deployed overseas. We have access to DeepSeek, for example. We wanna make sure that our securities are going to be a priority. So with that, Kurt says, do you believe marketing is 10x harder than coding, knowing that tons of developers are building products that no one uses? I want to say that marketing, along with anything else, is going to be actually probably 10x easier. So we know that, like you said, these developers are using and building products that no one necessarily uses. There's a lot of people who are out here building different software systems. What we want to be able to do is tie whatever existing systems are out there to our bottom line to make sure that it is productive for us. So for example, one product or system that like no one necessarily uses that we could see this being applied is the job market. Applying to LinkedIn isn't necessarily the move anymore, because most of those jobs are fake. Most of those jobs, companies are just posting because they want traffic for their websites. And this is why it's so difficult to be able to lock in interviews, because of what they're currently doing. And so with that, what's going to be important is your network. So you guys already know how Scale in Tech has a direct placement program for referrals, which are everything in tech. So if you want that one in, if you want guaranteed placement with top companies like Google, Microsoft, by leveraging your network and existing experts, then tap in to scale in tech. So to answer the question, do I believe that marketing is 10x harder than coding? I believe that it's 10. I believe that it's 1000x easier. Everything is 1000x easier these days because you don't even have to know how to code. You don't have to know how to code at all anymore. You can just automate it. Type in what you want. I want an AI that builds blank, and the AI will be able to automatically generate that for you. There are agents that can do exactly that. So I love this point. You guys are, like I said, you guys are geniuses. Thank you, Kurt, for your point. And so, yes, you can be confident that it's going to be everything is going to be easier for you. You got this. Lyric Studio says, hold on, Ash. Are we speaking to an AI version of you now? I wish. Nah, this is me. This is the real me, y'all. I'll send you my AI so you guys can test her out. So when you guys speak to AI Ash, I'm pulling her up right now on my phone. You let me know what you think. So message me and literally let me know what you're thinking about the communication style of AI Ash. So what she's going to be able to do is provide significant AI and business value. So if you're looking for different strategies and different, for example, resources and tools that you can use to transition into AI, then tap in with AI Ash. So give me a second here. I got to pull up the link and then I'm going to send this you guys' way. So I'll just send it into the chat. All right. So then next, we're just going to cover a few questions. You guys have some great questions here. So we'll start off with Ronald Knox Jr. I like that name. I'm new to this tech industry. Does your credit score matter when applying for cybersecurity or any other tech jobs? No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. However, when we're getting into cybersecurity clearances, so if you want exclusive clearances, then of course maybe those implications might apply. I'm not necessarily sure, but no, it doesn't. It doesn't apply to applying to any job really. It doesn't necessarily matter. But a great point. So Marky says, hello, first time joining. You're live from Cyprus. Let's go. Welcome in. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the future. I'm so glad to have you all here. And thank you so much for your engagement on this amazing Saturday. So like I said, we're here to maximize the value that we can bring and your time here. So thank you all for being here. Appreciate you guys. This is for you. Love. All right. So Dragon Ball Z says, maybe you covered this and I missed it. Are there AI cybersecurity integrations for AI agent systems? Cybersecurity AI agents? Yes, there are. Hey, you guys. So when we're getting into cybersecurity agents, we want to focus on, the security aspect. So there are agents, for example, that exist where, we talked about earlier, but there's going to be 0-day attacks. A 0-day attack is defined where we got 0 days to prepare. It's a cybersecurity attack that we cannot avoid. With that means that humans are going to be replaced by AI systems that can automatically, low-key hack into the system and figure out ways to get around the security integrations that, try to fight against it. So I love this question. And you know what? I'm interested in seeing how far it's going to go. So if you want to tap Dragon Ball Z fellow anime lover one-to-one to discuss exactly what cybersecurity AI agents can help you, then I'm happy to do that as well. But yes, it gets kind of scary, you guys, when we're talking about cybersecurity agents that are going to be able to automatically hack into the system, into any system. I love this point because we have to have these conversations. So Ash AI agents will be working on the beach. Yes, exactly. And so we talked about that. I think I might be paused a little bit. Let's give it a little second here. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me or if I'm paused. I'm paused on my end. This all happened because I was trying to pull up my AI agent and then and the system is like overwhelmed, I suppose. All right, second. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm back. Am I back? Okay. Okay, we're back. All right, cool. Yes, well said. Last week we talked about deploying and building AI agents while we're all going to be in the beach in Bora Bora. Are y'all ready to be in Bora Bora for the future trip that we're going to have while our AI agents are deployed? Y'all let me know. I'm more than ready for Bora Bora. All right, you guys. So what I sent, man, that link right there is definitely not the vibe. So I don't even think that went through entirely. So I'm gonna get you guys a short link so you can access Ash AI. So I apologize that it turned out like that. It was like literally 3 different messages for the link. It's a complex AI, you guys. Anywho, so Lyric Studio says, side note, I missed a few live streams. How did you do how did you do in the competition you were entered into? I heard Shaq even voted for you. Proud of you. Thank you. Yes, and Shaquille O'Neal did vote. So this is talking about when I entered into the Entrepreneur of Impact Award. And so I appreciate everybody's support in that. However, did not make it to the next round. But Shaquille O'Neal did end up voting. So with that, this just speaks towards the importance of limitless connection these days. So that, in all realism, happened because I decided to directly pitch Shaquille O'Neal. I messaged him, I DM'd him, and told him about what I was building and the technology that we were creating and how it can help him and be valuable to him. And you know, he ended up being really receptive to that, seeing the value, and ended up investing. So yes, like to say that Shaquille O'Neal is one of our investors. Thank you so much. Shout out to Shaquille O'Neal. I'm trying to find you guys the short link because we don't want you to just have to deal with like this super long link. And so I'm trying to find you guys so I can send you guys Ash AI so you can communicate with her. But in the meantime, Dragon Ball Z says, let's go. Yes, let's go, you guys. So any questions, you guys? I want to open it up now. Any questions about what we've discussed, about the future? Don't be shy to tap in. I mean, you guys' engagement has been more than perfect thus far. So thank you so much for your contributions and also for being here at the party today. So Kiki says, if you were hiring me for a job at your company, what are the top 3 things you would be looking for? This is a great question. Number 1, technical proficiencies. Are you comfortable with leveraging, deploying, and also being innovative with the technology that currently exists and also looking into alternative solutions? Number 2, of course, we're looking into, I would say, are you open-minded? There's a lot of people who are closed-minded on systems and ways of doing things. However, I would say that the second thing is being flexible and open-minded because there are so many different ways that we can do things. And last but not least, of course, we love a hard worker. So if you are coming day, putting in the work and effort, and also passionate about what you're doing, because we're also building the future, building a better world, then those 3 things I would say are priority. So are you a hard worker? Are you innovative? Are you flexible? And last but not least, are you able to be flexible in your thoughts and create and generate new solutions? So technical proficiencies are going to be number 1, though. So of course, we want to make sure that you guys can leverage and use the technology that we're speaking on. But this is a great question because it does require a multifaceted approach where you're going to have to be not only skilled for hard skills, but also soft skills. So these days, as you guys may, already know, most people are, not necessarily prepared for the future and not necessarily, able to communicate because we have, social media. And so there's a lot of people who don't have the communication skills. And so communication skills are also going to be very important. And so being able to connect with somebody, there's nothing better than that. Being able to connect with somebody one-to-one, being able to to articulate the value that you bring to the table, and also being able to participate in a way that delivers value because you bring your diversification of experiences and a wealth of knowledge to the table. So love this question. So technical proficiencies, are you flexible? Are you innovative? All these things are great, which you already have, Kiki, I have no doubt. So I would definitely be hiring you for sure if I had a company. Lyric Studio says power moves. You're our winner overall. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, yes. We're keeping the ball rolling. You know what I'm saying? We're still trying to make impact. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Lyric Studio. You're the best. Okay, I'm getting this link prepared for you guys. So I think this is a better link here. Yep, this is it. This should be it. So Dragon Ball Z says we call it the Shaq gamble. I haven't heard of the Shaq gamble. We do know that he's a major investor in many different companies, but I like that. I'm gonna have to use that. The Shaq gamble. Shaq attack. That's funny. So Lyric Studio says, what does the future look like to you in the next 5 years? Ooh, the next 5 years. Everything is going to change. I think in the next 5 years, we are going to be at the precipice, we're not already there, of the singularity, to where essentially AI technology low key takes over. And I want to say this in the best way possible. I imagine a better world, a happier and healthier future. So that means that AI technology is empowering us to, for example, have personalized healthcare solutions so that nobody ever gets sick, nobody ever, has any problem ailments. Everyone is going to be able to go to, for example, a doctor that can analyze their genomes, and so that we can make sure that we are actually healthy. And so beyond that, we know that AI can now essentially cure almost any disease and ailment thanks to quantum computing. So, I think that's a good thing. It's a positive. However, we want to make sure that the people are empowered and in control of this. I would like to think that there's going to be a future where the people and populace will be empowered. There's going to be a beautiful, diverse future. I hope that it's going to be full of diversity, equity, and inclusion. I also hope that it's going to be, with technological empowerment, so that our healthcare systems are going to be better, our legal systems are going to be better. I'm a little bit delusional when it comes down to positivity for the future, but I'm going to keep that mindset. I think that we're going to see robots, so many robots around that can do, a lot of different things for us, including, like they say, being able to either do different tasks day to day, wash your dishes, wash your clothes, but even be able to be teachers, to step in as teachers in leadership roles, and even stepping into positions where robots are going to be able to be our companions. And so we're building and developing AI robots that are going to either compete or collaborate with us. Humans, we have, integrated biases and limitations to where, we don't want to build something that is going to be able to compete with us. However, I think it's going to be a positive. I think it's going to be positive. I think it's going to be a better, brighter world and future. To answer the question, I think that AI technology is going to be able to empower all of us when it comes down to any system, whether it be healthcare or anything else. But I also think that there are going to be more billionaires than ever that look like you and me. So there are already billionaires here, I know, that are watching or listening. And so you guys can take it upon yourselves to build these AI technologies and also build the future. We're building better, you guys. There's no reason why we have to step back and say, make America great again. We're stepping into the future to make America better, to make the future better, and to make the world better. Love this question, though. I think it's going to be a great future. We're going to be able to heal faster than ever. We're going to be able to cure anything. And then we're going to be able to maximize productivity so we could all be on the beach in Bora Bora in tropical weather and relaxing while our AI agents are chilling. This is, a positive take on the future. I believe that it's so important to be able to keep that because right now, The path we're going is going to be where government systems are taking over, where large corporations are going to be taking over and trying to control things. But in the future that I see, we can't have that. We're going to have profit sharing. We're going to be making money off of. We're also going to be making money off of the data that they're going to be taking. Meta, Google. So it's going to be a prosperous future, you guys, prosperous and abundant. So keep that mindset. Don't let them try to hold you back on the futures. It's a great future indeed. Love the question though, Lyric Studio. Love it. So Life of Tariq says, you really think that's the future in 5 years? Yes. And I can't lie, you guys, I am positively delusional. Like I believe that we have to think positively about the future to create it. So yes, I see abundance and prosperity, but how that happens is all of us empowering ourselves, our people, our communities, and taking it upon ourselves to build the technology that is going to be able to create this better world for solutions. So pick a problem. There's so many out there, build the solution, and we can come to this. We also got to come together. We got to come together because it's not going to happen if we don't. So it's going to take some dismantling realistically, but dismantling is it's coming. The dismantling is coming. These systems that currently exist, they are unstable, very unstable. And so the necessity of a future where we're all going to have to accept the reality of the world being more diverse and beautiful than ever, and how companies are going to be able to reap the rewards of revenue increases and innovation increases by prioritizing diversity, equity, and inclusion. We're going to have to come to these realities and align with what's coming. We can no longer continue to follow the path of the past. That's just going to hold us back. So we're going to, step up as a leader, step up as leaders. Do not be afraid to speak out on what is right, because that's how we build a better future. So everybody here, y'all are preparing yourselves for the better future. I know y'all are some billionaires, multimillionaires already here in the chat for the future. So I'm looking forward to being on the beach with you guys in Bora Bora in the future while our AI agents are, doing their thing. So Life of Tariq says maybe 10. Confirm what you mean by that, because I've been rambling on. I'm not really sure what that applies to. But Lyric Studio says, wait, say that again. Quantum computing has solved almost all ailments. I believe this to be true, but is it widely known amongst the people? Is it widely known? No. However, yes, this is the future. And so this is what all of the large healthcare organizations are coming to now, because yes, they are able to cure any ailments, any disease with technology. I will say perhaps any is, not the word, because there's so many different ailments out there and diseases out there, but it is in the realm of possibility with quantum computing. So we can imagine almost anything actually being able to be cured and solved. So this is inevitable. Beyond that, I will also say that what they're trying to do is keep all of these things on the low. They don't want you to know about quantum computing. They don't want you to know that you can cure any ailment and disease. They don't want you to know that you could heal yourself by empowering healthcare solutions. They don't want you to know that. But this is why y'all are here, and this is why y'all know, so you can get ahead. So Kiki says, I claim it, Ash. I will be a billionaire, and you will. All right, billionaires will stand up. I'm going to make the ultimate AI agent infrastructure when I figure it out. It's going to be great. Let's do a round of applause. Yes, that's what I love to hear. Yes. And if you do want to collaborate, or if you want guidance on exactly how to do this, I am here to support. So if you haven't already, tap in. We can do a one-on-one session. I am so proud of you, Kiki. Well said. Keep going. Yes. All right, Cyber Groupie, love that, says, I need an internship or apprenticeship, having a hard time finding a job. Yeah, the job market out here, you guys, let's be realistic. It is really intense. And so what you need to do is upskill with AI. And so with internships or apprenticeships, you're not getting paid for that. You want to focus on being able to first, it depends though, if you're just out of college, then, you do want to get experience, etc. But, you want to make sure that you're able to capitalize and build these solutions. So everybody out here, realistically, the job market is going to be pretty difficult, but there are also so many resources, especially with scale in tech. So if you're already in tech, cyber groupie, then I would say that a great resource is with Scale in Tech Direct Placement Program. So what they're going to do is give you referrals and also access to a direct network. But this also, of course, takes prior experience in the market. And so they're going to be able to help you and support you whenever you have reached that level. However, if you are in the process of gaining information and knowledge and experience building your portfolio, then I'll be here to help you and support you. So, for example, we're able to provide AI career path plans and solutions. So if you want to know exactly what you need to do, if you want a guiding star blueprint for the path you need to take, then let's connect one-to-one. But if you're ready, then definitely tap in with Scale and Tech. But yes, well said. Love this point. Bruce Lee, yes. Always with the vibe. Always with the vibe. Life of Tariq says 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. That's for the future. When we're talking about the acceleration and where we can see the singularity. So 10 years instead of 5 years, I would have to agree. Like maybe things are moving rapidly, but perhaps, for a singularity, we'll see it in about 10 years. Good point. Lyric Studio says, I know this is a broad question, but what is quantum computing anyhow? This is a great question. All right, so we want to think of a computer with the most advanced brain on the planet. So we have the computers, we have our cell phones, right? But quantum computing essentially takes processing power to a next level. So, for example, where your computer is required to analyze, or, you're going to a website and it takes some time to load, quantum computing can do it in less than seconds at the speed of light. Quantum speeds. So this is absolutely next level. So, I mean, you guys, if you want to know exactly what quantum computing is, what it does, or even what it looks like, because this isn't just a regular data center. This is taking it to the next level, to where there are like giant, I mean, you guys have to see it yourself. You have to see it yourself. These are something that is completely different. We're talking about huge structures that are built with like space technology. A lot of these data centers, for example, they have so much compute power to where they have to be put underground for cooling, or even placed in environments to where they're naturally cooled. So like, Antarctica, they say in the future, is where like there's going to be a massive data center, because it's going to be so powerful and it's going to have to be cooled as well. So you can imagine the type of system that is required for this type of power. So quantum computing is the future. It's inevitable, but we're talking about a structure that is built with space level technology and processing power that is faster than the speed of light. So I would say look it up, like literally search like quantum computer, watch some documentaries to see and be familiar with what this looks like, because it's something that we couldn't even possibly imagine. It's absolutely insane. So but good, great question. You guys are coming with the questions today. I love it. So Dragon Ball Z says, I believe she is right. I told my wife that years ago, tech like the iPad was already real, but we didn't have it yet. It comes out 2 years later. Dragon Ball Z, you might be on to something. You can see ahead into the future. So yes, absolutely. Things are happening so fast. What it's going to require us to be able to do is predict, observe, predict what's going on, and pivot. Everyone here is ready to predict and pivot and win and profit. But yeah, well said. I mean, we have to evolve our minds. So the point where Lyric Studio spoke of quantum computing. So we know that with these quantum computers, if they can process at the speed of light, how are humans going to compete with that? And this is where Elon Musk comes up with, for example, Neuralink technologies, where it's a chip in our brains to be able to help with this process. But it's also important to be able to learn the foundation of what it takes to think computationally. So, for example, if you guys want to get started in tech and AI, start with machine learning, data analytics, building with Python, and that's going to teach you to think computationally so you can keep up with these advanced computer systems. And then if you want to get the chip, this is only going to make things even more powerful. But well said, well said. So Dion says, how much for the one-on-one is complimentary? I got you. And so, yes, the one-on-one, the initial consultation is going to be complimentary, you guys. So run, don't walk to get a one-on-one session. Would love to help and support your journey. So, all right, you guys. So I now have Ash AI pulled up. Okay, I hope this goes through. I hope this goes through okay. This is the moment of truth. Okay, here it goes. Okay, I think that link was also like way too long. Okay, well, I'm gonna continue to get an even shorter link so you guys can access that. So you guys can see exactly what real life AI agents looks like. So I'm gonna get that prepared for you guys. Don't worry. Lyric Studio says, oh, that's interesting. I'm curious as to what effects that could have on the environment. Yes, Antarctica, that's a big no-no for me on the chip. Yes, this is so important. Like I said, you guys are geniuses because you're already looking ahead. So absolutely, when it comes to compute, the negative side effect is going to be our environment. So we know when people were, for example, mining Bitcoin, so we all know how with mining Bitcoin, how that took a lot of energy, a lot of power, and also created a negative impact for the environment. Compute is no different. So with that, we see so many data facilities being built up, and there are no considerations for our precious Mother Earth and environment. So with this, we need to start having conversations on sustainable energy and sustainable compute. This means integrating, for example, solar panels, wind, hydropower, sustainable solutions that can generate power without having to rely on electricity, expensive electricity. So most definitely, I think this is such an important point, but also the solution is going to be sustainable compute power and facilities. So, this is a great point because honestly, this would be an investment that I would love to make. Like if we could all invest in a compute facility somewhere, a sustainable compute facility somewhere, y'all let me know if y'all are down to do that because that is going to be the future. We can create our own quantum computing labs. Black Panther forever. Wakanda forever. So Dragon Ball Z says, Musk company X AI supercomputer is called Colossus. I believe it's only a prototype though. He's like a tech chess player thinking moves ahead. It's going to get real fast. Hey, it's already super real, you guys. And you're absolutely right. Elon's goal was to create, I believe, the largest compute facility. And I mean, there's so many out there now, but I do think that he accomplished that. And so with that, I'm not sure. It would make sense that he's implementing sustainable practices since he does literally he owns Solar City, so it would make sense that he's using his solar panels. But I'm not really sure if he is. So I would hope that he definitely is. But this is a great point because Elon Musk is investing, Sam Altman is investing, the government is investing. So there are so many different ways where we're going to have to try and come up with some sort of solution to this. So well said, well said. It's very real. It's already real, you guys, every single day. They don't want you to know that though. They don't want you to be ready and prepared, but everyone here is prepared though. So Lyric Studio says, I'm with it. What series funding what series funding we in? We'll start off with the seed round and then we'll go from there. But yes, what should we call our data facility? We're all going to invest in data facilities and compute power so we can bring Wakanda to real life for real. But yeah, love that. I'm still over here trying to get this short link to you guys. I'm trying to get the link shorter like short as possible, since apparently like it's just refusing to go through. All right, which is unfortunate. Like in real time, trying to find a short link. And I apologize for not having this ready beforehand, but I'm still going. I'm still going to get you guys this link so you can communicate with Ash AI. We're going to do that. All right. So without further ado, you guys, let's get into some more of this news. You guys have been absolutely great when it comes to engagement and speaking on the issues that matter. So I want to thank everybody that's here, everybody that's been in attendance, everybody that's listening. Thank you, because you literally are the best. So we're all preparing ourselves for the future, and let's go ahead and get into some of this next level tech here. So, okay, let's see if this one works. I'm still working on that short link. Okay. Anywho, okay, so Google's 2-year sprint to catch up with OpenAI. So in the late 2022, okay, Google initiated an intensive 100-day project to develop Bard, which is the competitor to OpenAI's ChatGPT. So this was amid concerns that they were losing their AI dominance. And so, despite challenges like integration issues and restructuring, this effort was to lead the creation of the Gemini language model, which was in December of 2023. So this surpassed its predecessor by boosting the company's evaluation. So Google actually ended up adopting and accelerating development processes. However, they're facing significant technical and ethical challenges. And so they ended up merging with DeepMind and Google Brain under Mr. Hassabis to revitalize their AI ambitions. So with this, developing AI capacities are, of course, going to be able to improve Google's services and also lead to better user experiences and outcomes. However, we see how the competition is heating up. So we got Google, XAI, OpenAI, et cetera, et cetera. So we can also look forward to market competitiveness and competition. So this means that they're going to be developing advanced AI models like Gemini that's going to be able to help Google maintain its leadership in the AI industry. So we see how some of these large companies are coming together. They're collaborating with their systems. And so out of sheer necessity. And so this is a positive for all of us. So as far as user interaction and ethical considerations, we're looking forward to more sophisticated AI models that are going to be more accurate and personalized. But also, when it comes down to those ethical considerations, realistically, rapid AI development is raising concerns about biases, misinformation, and the need for responsible AI usage. So we already had massive conversations about the importance of this. And so now we're seeing it on the big stage where large companies like Google, OpenAI, et cetera, are now having to come together and combine their services and AI expertise to be able to compete, because China, we know, is ahead. They're dominating. And so the US, they're gonna have to collaborate, come together to try and win. So Lyric Studio said cold boost. Hey, I kind of like that though. Our facility in Antarctica, our massive data facility in the future. Cold boost goes super hard. I like that. Mr. CMB says I'm down. And Res Live says I'm with it. Y'all are the best, for real. Y'all are the best. So I'm actually super excited to, continue to do this every week, because there's always something new and exciting. And also, I'm sorry, you guys, I'm trying to still get this link, but yeah, times are changing, and so we're gonna have to change with the times realistically. So I love that you guys are also just so involved and open to all of these changes, because that's what it is going to take. So we're preparing ourselves for the future to not only survive, but to thrive and to dominate. And so next, I'm going to try and find a super cool, exciting. We got to keep it cool and exciting for the news. I'm going to try and find a last piece of news that we can end off on. So we'll see. Okay, I think this is probably pretty important. So last but not least, let's go ahead and end off on Nvidia. Let's talk about Nvidia. They're doing some pretty big things. So they recently had a major conference. So this was called the GTC 2025 conference, where Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang introduced the Blackwell Ultra GPU. You guys, we already talked about the importance of compute power. So this is a GPU that's scheduled to release later this year. And Vera Rubin, they have a Vera Rubin superchip, which is expected in late 2026. So these advancements are aiming to meet the escalated demand for AI computational power. All right. And so Huang is essentially emphasizing the need for a 100-fold increase in AI computing capabilities. This has been a trend this entire conversation and stream, right? Where all these companies are competing against each other with compute. So, hey, I mean, 100-fold increase. Yeah, we'll see exactly where that goes. We know how it's also combined with robotics, and Nvidia is also in the healthcare field. So Nvidia is a company that's collaborating and working with different healthcare facilities to be able to use compute power to cure any ailment or disease. Nvidia is the company for that. So we have collaborations with, of course, they also are working on autonomous vehicles. So not only are they a competitor in the healthcare space, but also a competitor to Tesla. So their computer vision technology is super significant. So we see that a lot of these large corporations are relying on Nvidia's chips, and we're seeing how they don't necessarily want to rely on Nvidia, so they're building their own. So we know that Meta is building their own compute. We know that we know that Elon is building his own compute facilities. I'm trying to think. Microsoft is even investing in their own. Microsoft invested in OpenAI, but they took themselves out of the contract because they saw that the bottom line, they'll be more profitable by investing into their own compute facilities and powers. So things are heating up, you guys. This is actually pretty insane. So as far as like the business benefits, we can look forward to enhanced performance. So of course, this new chip is going to promise significant improvements with processing speeds, like we already spoke about, not minutes, not seconds, but at the speed of light. So this is going to benefit industries that are reliant on high processing compute power. So also with AI integrations, we're looking at advanced hardware facilities that are going to be developing more sophisticated AI applications across sectors, like we just talked about: healthcare, computer vision, autonomous vehicles. Everything is changing. So let's get into the real life implications. So the more powerful these chips get, this means that we're hoping to democratize access to advanced AI tools. So hopefully this is going to help fostering innovation and not monopoly corporate control. Also, economic growth. So different industries that are adopting these technologies are going to experience accelerated growth and efficiency. So what do you guys think of that? Are you guys interested? Are you guys in a place where you're able to implement compute power into your workflows? Let me know. So I am still trying to get you guys a short link, like ASAP. But in the meantime, ask some questions, you guys. Ask some questions so we can keep the convo going. Oh, okay. You guys are killing it. Okay, Dragon Ball Z says Musk bought Aditio, Memphis, Tennessee, where Colossus is located. Yep. Elon Musk, he knows the importance of compute power. However, I also want to say that, like, what we do want to avoid is we want advanced AI systems, but we want to avoid what I like to call asshole AI. And what is an asshole AI? Like, AI should be coded and programmed for unity and collaboration and partnerships. And instead of it being just an outright, asshole like Elon Musk's AI tends to be. So Grok is its name. So we don't want an asshole AI. We want an aligned AI that is unbiased and also able to, propel our future in a positive way to build positive solutions. So I love this. Yes, Elon Musk is taking it to the next level with, the biggest AI facility in the world, apparently. So Rez says, who is the leader in AI now? Ooh, that's a powerful question. Who is the leader in AI now? You got me speechless. All right, I'm just gonna say it. China is the leader in AI. As far as US companies, I believe that Nvidia is killing it. However, we see how, other companies are de-investing in Nvidia because they're building their own compute facilities and powers. But I do have a lot of faith in Jensen Huang for many different reasons, because of the technology that he's developing and also the fact that he is aligning it with sustainability as well. So Nvidia in the US, I believe, is killing it. And also, I would say OpenAI. OpenAI, I mean, I can't lie, ChatGPT has been a resource, since the beginning. And I do believe that, Sam Altman, he does have a mind where he wants to develop this technology and protect it and allow it to be accessible for everybody. We also see how he's trying to charge, $2,000 for an AI agent. So it's a give and a take, you guys. But I love this question, and I'm going to say, who is the leader in AI now? I'm going to say China. And then in the US, I'm going to say Nvidia. Nvidia is a safe bet if you want to invest in a forward moving company. So with that, Dragon Ball Z says, cold boost, let's go. Yes, we're going to invest in our own AI facility for sure, you guys. So Wakanda forever, Wakanda in real life. Lyric Studio says, got to adapt. When the wave comes, don't drown, surf it. Hey, yeah, we're all surfing. We're all surfing and chilling. Everybody here, like I said, we're all here and winners. So I'm so proud of you guys, for all of you future billionaires that are listening right now. And thank you so much for the engagement. So Dragon Ball Z says, I was waiting for Nvidia news. Hey, let's go. I got you. Says, if you haven't seen any of his speeches from the conference, watch one. It's astonishing. Yes. Jensen Huang is next level. Respect to Jensen Huang. He is a humble CEO that is also leading innovation and also inclusion in ways as well. So we want to make sure that we're aligning it with the reality of our future, where diversity, equity, and inclusion are going to be necessities. So as long as Nvidia is aligning with that, then we can get with that as well. So Dragon Ball Z says, many companies are building their own, but using Nvidia chips for heavier work. I'm sorry, let me rewind. Many companies are building their own, but using Nvidia chips for heavier workloads of data. Yes. Well said. Exactly. So they're still using Nvidia chips. However, they're trying to build their own, and realistically, that takes a lot of time. So it's super advanced technologies. Well said, Dragon Ball Z. Mr. CMB says, I will never use Grok. Who here has used Grok? Let me know. Because same. I mean, maybe for like testing purposes, but like, why would anybody want to use asshole AI? Asshole AI is what the world does not need. And I'm not even sure why he felt the need to build an asshole AI. The problem comes where we have asshole advanced AI. So he's trying to create and build artificial general intelligence. But when it becomes super intelligence, where it surpasses the intelligence and capacity of a human, we need it to be, not an asshole. So I love this. I love this because like we need a proper AI system that is sustainable and also ethical. Ethical AI is essential. So yes, OpenAI has done a great job. Shout out to Sam Altman for at least trying to build an ethical AI system. So Life of Tariq says, what is your contact information and social media? Would love to connect you guys. So I believe that this is it should be here. Give me 1 second. Yes. So this is my Instagram. If you want to follow me on IG, let's connect. Got a lot of AI on there. If you want to follow me or connect on LinkedIn, would love to do that as well. You guys, you could find me. There's a lot of Ashley Robinsons, but you could find me at Ashley Robinson PWC, standing for Price Waterhouse Cooper. I should pop right out in a red dress. So if you want to connect, would love to do that. Absolutely. Let's continue the conversation on the future. Absolutely. So yes. Lear Studio says, when you said China, were you referring to the likes of DeepSeek? Absolutely. The fact that DeepSeek has been accomplished with less than half of capital, and also it's open source, so that means that anybody can contribute to its system, is mind blowing. And they're not stopping there. We see Manus, which is their AI agent. It's a browser AI agent, which can do almost anything. So, for example, if you, it's going to be replacing travel agents. It can search the web automatically for flights, for hotels, etc. What it could also do is maximize, of course, productivity by automating certain tasks for you. So China is number one. They're taking it to the next level. I'm not afraid to say that. And I do think that it's going to be important for us, our nation, to be able to collaborate with people who are around the world building these advanced technologies. So Europe, you know what I'm saying, China, Australia, they're with it already. And so the US, we got to get it together. Mr. T needs to get it together. We have to prioritize sustainability and ethics. Brenda says, what do you think about the DGX Spark? Ooh, DGX Spark. Is that like a new chip? Let me know. I haven't heard of that, but let me know. I would love to hear what exactly that is. Mr. CMB says, I use DeepSeek a lot. Yes. Continue to use the tools at your disposal. I love this, you guys. Like you said, you guys are already ahead. Y'all are all geniuses here. So most definitely continue to use the resources that are available to you. So Orion says, interesting. Yes, we like to think that we're going to keep it interesting every single Saturday. So tune in. Glad to have you here. Lyric says, I don't know about Grok, and I'm learning about actual AI. Lol, but I believe sometimes you need different perspectives to get a better view of everything as a whole. Yes, yes. This is where diversity, equity, and inclusion comes in, right? We need a diversity of thought and experiences. Instead of having to rely on thinking of ways in the past, being stuck in the past is not the move. The future is accelerating to where we're all going to need to adapt and accelerate. And with that, so does the way that we think and process. And so, yeah, we don't need an advanced asshole AI which is biased and racist and et cetera, et cetera. You get where I'm going. So, you know, we need to prioritize sustainability and ethics. Y'all know that. So, Kiki says, they say that you don't have ownership of your API with DeepSeek. Shaking my head. Yeah, I mean, honestly, with DeepSeek, since it is controlled, you know, by an overseas organization, we are going to have to keep in mind that there are going to be limitations and security implications with that. However, we want to make sure that we're not, of course, sharing any significant secure data, you know, with these systems. That goes for almost any system, but y'all are already aware of that. So it's a great point because we definitely want to focus on ownership, you guys. So earlier we spoke on how Shaq is an investor in Better Boost. That's the wearable technology startup. And so one actually ended up meeting Shaq. It was a couple years ago. All right, I'm about to share a gym with you guys. This is a story. So I ended up meeting Shaq a couple years ago. And like, if you meet Shaq, of course you're gonna have to ask, like, bro, what is the key to success? So I asked him, and this is what he said. Ownership. I can't do his voice, but he said ownership. Ownership is the key to success. And we know how he dominates in this space because he owns the likeness of Marilyn Monroe, along with many other franchises. So ownership, well said, is the key. So yes. Kay Young, good to see you, Kay. Hey Ash, I'm watching on my TV today. Let's go. Awesome information. Thank you. Thank you, Kay. I'm glad to hear you. Glad to have you here. Welcome in. Yes. Shout out to Kay, you guys. Brenda says Nvidia supercomputer. Ooh, okay. I thought so. So it's a supercomputer, DGX Spark AI tools. I'm going to look into this because I haven't particularly heard of the DGX. But yes, Nvidia is making some insane technological advancements, especially when it comes to compute. So I'm going to check that out, Brenda. Great point. Geniuses here in the chat. So it seems like most Americans are stuck in the past. Mr. CMB says that, and you're right. You're right. But hey, I want to say I get it, but like realistically, I don't. The future is accelerating at such a rapid pace, and things are changing so rapidly, and the world's becoming more diverse to where we're all going to have to adapt. And the realistic future is going to be it's either adapt or y'all know the other D word. It's just 3 words. I don't even want to say it, but that's the choice that we have. And so yeah, we don't have to be stuck in the past. So that's what's holding us back. They want you to be stuck in the past with everybody else. It's an accelerated future. We're accepting the reality of a better future in a better world. So yeah, it's gonna be things are changing. We have to accept that. So Res Life says Google search it's about to be Google search is about to be obsolete. Yeah. If it's like, yeah. I try to think of the last time I even used Google search and like, yeah, I don't even really use it anymore. I'm using LLMs. You're right. Hey, that's why they're trying to keep up with compute power by combining it with Google's DeepMind. And so Google's DeepMind is also an application of healthcare as well. So what they're trying to do is develop advanced AI healthcare solutions. So when we're talking about that, quantum computer that can heal or be able to actually cure any ailment or disease, then everybody is trying to get on page with this, which is why we're going to have to empower ourselves with proactive decisions and this technology, because the future cannot be in the hands of large corporations and the government. We all see the future that's creating, and that's not an ideal future whatsoever. So everybody here, already preparing yourselves for the future to thrive in the space. Everybody's winners. I know I'm talking to billionaires and millionaires here. So, all right, Mr. CMB says, I was at Mar-a-Lago a few months ago for an event, and a lot of Trump's team was asking about AI and how they can use it. Everybody out here should be using AI. And of course, there are a lot of, AI curious individuals. And I love that you are, actually out there seeing what's going on and also having conversations with people in this space, especially in the government space. And so when they're asking about how they can use AI and what they can do with it, there are even conversations about implementing AI decisions in government. So we all know that human decisions can be flawed, can be biased. But imagine if an AI can create a better solution than a human can. And then that solution is integrated into our government. I like to think that there are certain egos that are in place to where, the collective's best interest is a little bit clouded, because let's be real. I mean, if you were raised, super wealthy, like Donald or Elon Musk, then the reality is that over time, especially if you've been a billionaire for a few decades, then what happens is you become a little bit insensitive. And also, you can't relate to the average human being in person. So these are 2 realities that are being combined with massive conflicts of interest. And so with that, we see how government systems are and individuals and organizations are trying to implement AI, but y'all already know the importance of doing that and empowering ourselves with artificial intelligence. So very, very well said. I'm so glad that you guys are making, such great points. And like I said, you guys are geniuses here. I love it. So Lyric Studio, better future, better world, better pizza, Papa John. Yo. That's hilarious. I love this. Man, y'all make my Saturday. Y'all make my Saturday for real. Mr. CMB says agreed. Yes. All right, you guys. So that was the news for this Saturday. If you have any other points, then we'll use these last couple minutes to discuss. However, I also want to send out, this is finally the short link. Thank God I found it. I found the right link to use. If you guys want to see an AI agent in action, if you guys want to communicate with Ash AI, then tap into the link that I just added to the chat. So it should be there. It's like a short URL dot at. So if you want to talk to AI, Ash AI, tap into the link. Also, I would love to hear your feedback. So this is something where it's essentially a protocol to be able to try and replace myself, replace the drudgery of content creation, replace having to trade my time for value. Instead, this is going to be able to open up time, resources, and value to be absolutely limitless. So that means that if you guys have any questions about AI strategies, if you guys have any questions about how you can implement AI automations, then Ash AI can actually answer the question for you. So this is a free resource for you. This is just open and available for testing at this time. So however, take advantage of it. Tap into the link, talk to Ash AI, and let me know what you think. So if you do have any feedback, I would love to hear from you either on IG, let's connect on IG, The Garden of Ash, or on LinkedIn. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for your time. I also want to give a shout out to everyone that is here, everyone that has commented, because your questions and comments have been not only super engaging, but also super valuable. So I'm happy to have everybody here. And also shout out to Cyrus. So he's absolutely killing it. He's the hardest worker that I know. Make sure y'all send him a message of encouragement, because as we speak, he's actually speaking at a conference event. So let him know that he's appreciated. And last but not least, you guys, if you're interested in transitioning into tech and AI, we are here to help and support you. Of course, we have the conference coming up on April 12th, which means that you're going to have firsthand access to crypto experts. We know how cybersecurity is booming. We know how crypto is booming. So definitely tap into the event. I'll be there. Cyrus will be there, and so will the experts. So you guys will also be able to have a guaranteed opportunity to profit as well. This is a little special gift that Cyrus is sharing with everybody, to where apparently at the event, you're going to be able to make some money too. So that's a secret. I'm not even sure what he's going to be doing with that, but that's going to be a major opportunity. It's going to be a win-win. So I believe that the tickets are available at the link below. So you want to make sure you're locking those tickets in before the price goes up or before they're sold out, because the last event sold out super, super quickly. So you don't want to miss out on this. Last but not least, okay, the links that should be available down low. If you're interested in transitioning into the highest opportunity in tech and AI, y'all know we talked about tech sales, making $1 million a year. If you're money motivated and you want to transition into that field, we have AI enhanced boot camps that are available, that are organized and guided by industry experts. His name is Horace. He's been in the field for over 20 years. And so he's actually also the director at Microsoft. He's the tech sales director specifically. So you guys can be sure that you're going to get guaranteed maximum value if you are interested in pursuing the tech sales field. But also he has a quality assurance bootcamp, which is also AI enhanced. So you guys are getting the best of the best. So I believe those links should be down below if you want to get started with scale and tech. And if you are interested in a personalized career path solution, then we can also connect one-to-one. So my link should also be down below. It is a complimentary session and consultation. So you guys can, be confident that you're going to be able to get maximum value with your time as well. So yes, thank you everybody for being here. Luke, hold on, let's shout everybody out. Says, appreciate you, Ash. It's always a pleasure. I'll check out that link. Appreciate you guys. Says, shout out to Cyrus. Shout out to Cyrus. Yeah. Yes, facts. Dragon Ball Z, fellow anime lover, says, I really love the positive vibe from this channel. I'm proud of everyone. Yes. So proud of all of you guys. You guys are killing it in this space. Keep going. Yes. And if you do have any questions, like I said, I'm here to support you. Cyrus is here to support you. And so we're happy to help. Dragon Ball Z says, great stuff. Well done, Ash. Appreciate you. Dragon Ball Z. And Lyric Studio says, Dragon Ball Z, I agree. Yes. Thank you guys for being here. Without further ado, we have had a super valuable session, and I'm going to allow you guys to enjoy this beautiful Saturday. Everybody, be blessed. The future is here. The The future is now. May everybody here win. May everybody here be successful and also be able to make massive amounts of capital and succeed in this AI revolution. So with that, Brenda, shout out to Brenda. She says, great to be back and thank you all for the support. Yes, yes. We're here to build a better, brighter future. So here's to that. All right, you guys. All right, have a great Saturday. With love. See you next Saturday.